Hi, so in this video I'll be demonstrating how to make a cutting board from beginning to end. This is an example of the finished product. You'll be laminating different pieces together, and then we'll be thickness planing it so that it's relatively flat. Then we'll be using a bandsaw to cut one or two of these curved cuts out, laminating it again with a feature wood, drilling the hole, and then flattening the whole thing out, squaring the ends, and rounding the corners, and then putting a finish on. So of course you need to begin with selecting your wood, and the finished product we want to be around 14 inches long by about 6 inches wide. So we're going to find some wood that's at least 14 inches long, so definitely longer than this ruler, and at about 6 inches wide, and also very importantly, at least 1 inch thick. So each of our pieces, if we find a piece of wood like this, and we measure it and we see that it is less than 1 inch this way, then that's too thin to have it this way. But if we measure it this way, it's well over 1 inch, so we can have it this way, and it'll be thicker than 1 inch. So we have all of these pieces that I've put together that are at least 1 inch thick. And bear in mind that your cutting board will end up being as thin as your thinnest piece. So my thinnest piece here is about 1 1/8 inch. So it'll be at least that thin. Once you've selected your pieces, you're going to need to glue them together. So you'll need a couple of clamps set up, and you should really set them up before you actually start gluing or putting glue on your wood. So you'll want to wind one end back because people often leave them wound up. So you wind it back, both clamps. There we go. And then set up the other end so that it is close to where you need it. So we'll bring this end up. Now if it's not going to move, you can tap it with the mallet. And this particular type of clamp has a notch underneath. So you need to make sure these sit in those notches once you've slid it up so that it stays in place. There we go. So these are pretty close. There we go. I'll line those up. There we go. Now we're ready to glue. We're going to put glue on every single one of these faces except for the end piece. So we're going to take them in an organized way, and we're going to lay them out, turning each piece 90 degrees. Like so. Until every single piece is rotated 90 degrees except for the last one. The last one we're not going to rotate 90 degrees because it doesn't need the glue on it. Okay, we're only going to put glue on these pieces.